Liberia. Thank you for joining us. Tonight we celebrate our second anniversary, and we're going to look back on some of our past shows and also just look to the future, what we plan to do in the coming year. And we'll also have some of our former guests come and give their commentary. And at some point in the show, we hope to get your feedback on how you feel about us and what you would like to see us do in the future. So again, welcome everybody, and thanks for joining us. Tonight is a celebration. It's also a time for us to look back and just dig deep and see how we can be better. And okay. And Dennis, are you ready?
Right. And what we hope to accomplish here is to be able to tell us a brief history about ourselves, focus on Liberia. You have watched our show for a little over 2 years now, and you're wondering where we're going with this. So we try to more and more introduce, focus on Liberia to you, so that you get on board with what we're trying to do and see how you can help. So we're going to be talking about our history, of course, some of our challenges, the prospects, and also we want to tell you what we're looking at in the future. And as Danielle said, we're going to bring in our former guests. One of them is already on, Mr. Thomas Awaji. So, Mr. Awaji, welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Hi, Dennis. How are you?
Great. Also,
hello.
We're going to be bringing in another former guest who is going to talk to us. That's Mr. Austin Fala. Mr. Fala, welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Thank you, Mr. Ja.
All right. So what we intend to do here is, and later on, we're going to be opening our phone lines to our many viewers across the globe to call in and just give us a feedback and also talk to us about their impression of the show. Give us suggestions what we can do better and how you can help us reach that goal. So before I bring in our guests, let me turn it back to Danielle. We have a whole group that is behind this whole Focus on Liberia thing. Some are on camera most of the time, and some you don't.
Thank you, Mr. Ja.
And you may never see. Danielle, back to you.
Yes. So I'm going to put Dennis in the hot seat here to begin with. I did not start with Focus on Liberia 2 years ago. I know this is Dennis's brainchild. So Dennis, please tell us, what is the story of Focus on Liberia and why did you start it?
All right. Thank you, Danielle. And before I even continue, I want to welcome Mr. Asoni Sie. He's also one of our past guests. He's here to talk to you and talk to us also about Focus on Liberia. Mr. Sie, welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Thank you, Dennis. And thank you, Danielle.
Good. If you can adjust your camera a little bit, we want to see that suit. Right now, I'm going to see your head. That's right. And Mr. Fala there is driving. He's in Minnesota. Mr. Thomas Awaji in Atlanta. He's here with us in the beautiful city of Atlanta. Asoni Sie, he's vacationing. And he have a little more money to spend this weekend. So he's in Charlotte, North Carolina. So Focus on Liberia was started like a little over 2 years ago. Our first broadcast, and I'm going to show that to you tonight, was on August 27, 2017. That was leading to the election. The purpose, we started this, all start with a vision, okay? Somebody has a vision of what you intend to do. So I carry a vision of education, because prior to Focus on Liberia being started, I was too much in the argument business, in the advocacy, political debates. And what I felt was most of these arguments were not going anywhere, because many Liberians, I would say, in our political discourse did not have the foundational knowledge. Okay, most of the time we talk, and we couldn't talk substance. We were arguing, talking past each other. So the thought came to me that we can do something a little more to educate people, at the same time promote the rich culture of Liberia, because at the time what was known about Liberia, or what is widely known about Liberia, is just a little bit of what the country really stands for. For instance, to talk about the free slaves, that's not the beginning of Liberia, but to many people, that marked the beginning of the country called Liberia. We wanted to change that. Liberia is also known for Ebola, for civil war, and maybe having the first female president. And beyond that, you don't hear much again. So we wanted to change that and say, well, let's have a platform where we can give little more than just the superficial things that people know about Liberia. That was one. So that we wanted to educate and also promote. At a time, the thought came to me. Normally, when you have a thought, you share it with people close to you. And I have a brother, Dave. Most of the time, before anything even come out of me, I bounce it off him, and we decided and crafted few little things before even going outside. So the second person that I, after everything was drawn on paper, was talk to the president at that time of the Liberian Metropolitan Association, that's LAMA. At that time, we were all working for the Liberian community here in Atlanta. So I was working with Danielle, I was working with Stephanie. Danielle was our acting secretary. I was the chief of staff to the president, and Stephanie was the chair on membership. We had our president, Mrs. Yacindy Martin Bay. I brought these people together and share my vision. Right along, the board started first with the president, because I was serving as a chief of staff.
Dennis, can you mute everyone's mic? The sound isn't clear, and I feel like you're getting to a good part of the story here.
Right, okay.
Okay.
So I started, working as the principal staff officer, or the PSO, or the chief of staff to the president of LAMA, that's the Liberian Association here in Metro Atlanta, Mrs. Yacindy Martin Kweye. So I discussed this with her also, and she bought into the idea that we needed to have something like this. And also with, because the three of us work very closely together, that is the membership committee chair, Stephanie Logan Setro, the president, Yacindy Martin Kweye, and also me. So we discussed these things and decided this was a bright idea to go with. At a time, we were running Lama Live, a TV program on TV International. Mr. Evangelist Patrick Ansah was serving as our Lama publicity chair. He had this platform called Gospel Body Radio, an online TV program. So he gave us a slot to broadcast everything we wanted to do concerning Lama. So I was, the program first started with our education committee chair, Taniqua Ross, who was broadcasting Lama Live. And also I stepped into that and started broadcasting Lama Live. So we're doing this on the TV platform of Mr. Patrick Ansah. That's, he's also here. That's TV International. So after doing Lama Live a couple of times, that was only to, we had it as a monthly program. And so focus on Liberia when it was born. Our first program was on August 27, 2017. And that program was on the elections. And later on, I can show a clip. Danielle, if there's anything else. So it was, so the official start of Focus on Liberia was started by 3 persons. It was my vision. I shared it with people that were around me. They agreed to it. And they decided to support me. And we started as 3 persons. That was Dennis Jar as the host, Stephanie Setro as the product engineer, also the guest relations manager, and Yacindy Martin Kweye as the producer. And that's how we did our first broadcast on TV International, August 27, 2017.
Right. Okay. And so then tell us what the mission and Focus on Liberia is. What is the official mission?
The mission here is,
what is our purpose?
We have it in three words. That's to educate, to elevate, and to promote all things Liberia. Okay. So whatever we do, we cover all programs, but our underlying motive there is education is at the core. and elevating and also promoting Liberia, because we don't want all the negative things about Liberia. There are so many good things about Liberia. There are so many positive things happening, but most of the time the concentration is maybe political or something very one-sided. So we decided to broaden that scope.
Right. And interesting you should say that, because at the time, Facebook Live was starting to get popular, especially within our community. I think Facebook did an incredible thing when they created Facebook Live to create this technology that would give a lot of us a free platform. Because to appear on the computer screen or the television screen of many people at one time is normally pretty expensive. So at that time, there were also other Liberian-centered shows. Even before then, I know Radio LIB was very popular in the community with commentaries and other Liberian-focused shows. What made you decide, even with all that was out there, you still wanted to put forward focus on Liberia? What did you think would be so different from the other platforms?
I like that question. That's beautiful. And before then, even focus on Liberia, this whole idea of coming out with something, it started because radio was popular at that time. So at the time I was serving as the Secretary General of LAMA, that's our community organization, I proposed an idea about a LAMA radio, because it was radio. We didn't have this platform back then, or they were not popular. So I proposed this LAMA radio, and it had some of these ingredients that we can do something differently, because I always think that when I watch all the shows and everything, they were more focused on the political. People wanted to argue about stuff that were happening, especially on the politics side. Everything became an argument or something that we're arguing about or something that we didn't agree with. I felt like the foundational knowledge was lacking. And if you remember, there was at some point in time that I did this book, which was the foundational words of our nation. Because so civic education, new civic book, because I felt that civic education was lacking. We did not have the knowledge of most of the things that we're talking about. Even if someone told you, oh, you are violating the Constitution, you come to realize they don't even know the Constitution or the article that you are saying that you are violating, because we are very good at talking. So most of the time we talk these things, but the actual knowledge of what we are talking about is not there. So I felt that we can start something that broaden the scope, that will educate, that instead of us doing the talking most of the time, that we talk to people who knew little more than the average person, so that they can educate and provide that knowledge. So I felt that I was going to a space that that was going to be a little different. It was going to have more content. It was going to have more educational content than what was happening around me.
Great. And so then, what was your, well, okay, I'll start with this. So I started on the show as a temporary guest or a one-time guest co-host. What made you decide to seek a co-host for the show?
Right. The whole intent, and let me even go back on how, because we started with 3 persons. That's Stephanie Setro, Yasendi Martin Clay, and myself. But at some point, we had to part ways with Mrs. Clay, because her passion was somewhere else. And so right now, she's doing very well, hosting her own show, and she's one of the vocal persons on the internet who is often, talking about or opposing to pointing out some of the things that are in government that she doesn't agree with. So we decided to part ways, so that she can follow her passion, and we can focus on Liberia as a very neutral platform that both opposition, government, or wherever you come from, whatever your persuasion, religious, moral, or political persuasion may be, we wanted to have a place where we find things comfortable. And personally, I do not like to center things around myself. So the idea was to grow this platform and find people, like-minded people, who could help me carry out the vision. So the same way I talked to 2 persons at a time, I decided to broaden that. And that's how we decided as a team that dr.nya, we've already worked with you, and you were very phenomenal when it came to what you believe in, what you stood for, and your production, your intellect, and everything. So it attracted us. You have been working with us as secretary of Lama, and we thought it was that you were going to be someone, a key person that we needed as we grew focus on Liberia. So we contacted you, and we didn't want to overburden you from the start. So we started giving you, smaller roles to say, hey, can you guest co-host? Can you do this? And we wanted to see also your comfort level and what we're trying to do, because looking at your face and the way you carry yourself, you're not people may think you're not a media person, but we saw something beyond that and decided to invite you to help us carry out this. So we had the first time, because if the thing is centered around one person, that's the fundamental issue in Liberia we always try to correct. On the political level or every level, things are mainly based centered around one person. And if that person dies, the vision goes down. We don't want focus on Liberia to be like that. So even as of today, we are still in the process of recruiting and talking to people to buy into the vision, to join us so that we can do something and make this platform even bigger.
And I want to take this time also right now to just say thank you for believing in me. You know, I'm a quiet person, and I normally shy back from attention and being in the spotlight, but thanks to you guys for reaching out and seeing something in me that I guess I didn't see in myself. So thank you for sharing your vision with me and allowing me to be a part of your platform.
And we thank you so much for agreeing to join this.
Yes. Next, I want to talk about our top 5 shows over the last year or so. And I think the audience is definitely going to see a trend about our top 5 shows. So number 5 is the June 7 protest discussion that was had with Wilma Cooney and Josiah Jokai. We had a total of 6,800 views across all of the platforms we use, Facebook Live and YouTube. So that was number 5, and it had a total of 6,800 views. Then at number 4, we had the Fadiga brothers with a total of 8.2 thousand views across Facebook and YouTube combined. On that show, Dennis interviewed the 2 Fadiga brothers after all of the controversy between them and the Council of Patriots and the fallout. So that drew a lot of attention. And then the number 3 was the June 7th protest conversation with Representative Slaw. That had a total of 8.9 thousand views, 8,900 views across Facebook and YouTube. And at the time of the interview, Representative Slaw was not in favor of the June 7th protest. It seemed his main concern was safety for everyone, and he didn't want unnecessary injuries and atrocities to occur. And then number 2 on our list was the post-June 7th analysis. That had 9.2 thousand total views across Facebook Live and YouTube. On that show, we had Representative Slaw again, as well as Robert Gargwa, and as well as someone else who
Asani Sear.
Yes, and he was present at the June 7th protest here in the U.S. in Washington, D.C. So that was our number 2 most popular show over the last year with 9.2 thousand views. And then number 1 was the June 7th protest a conversation with Senator Komani Wisa of River G County. That had a total of 12.6 thousand views across Facebook and YouTube. So looking at the list, it seems as though June 7th took over the entire last 12 months for us. It was something that the community was really interested in. I think a lot of the interest came with a little bit of fear. People were concerned about what would happen and possible repercussions. And then even after the protests, the analysis, the post analysis also just drew a lot of attention because it was historic, regardless of what side of the argument you're on. You can't deny that it was historic and that a lot of people showed up and there were no injuries, there were no riots. And I think everyone across the board could really appreciate that. And then even with the Fadiga brothers, even though the show wasn't exactly focused on June 7th per se, it was some aspect of the conversation because some of the reason why there was controversy had to do with the June 7th protests and issues with the COP and money and with the Fadiga brothers. So yeah, June 7th protest was extremely popular, and I think probably all of the other platforms can say the same. It's something that everyone was interested in. No one got tired of hearing about it. I find it interesting that we had all these people tune in every single time we talked about it, when we brought another voice or another point of view to the discussion. But those were our top 5 shows for the year. And I'll also say, considering this is a platform where we like to really educate and broaden the types of topics we bring here, it was also a little disheartening because we discuss a lot of history and culture and lots of important and educational things. But yet the politics seems to always draw the crowd. So that makes me a little disheartened that we're not as interested in our culture or in the positive aspects of Liberia. Those are the top 5 shows. Dennis, do you have any shows that were most memorable for you?
Yes, I do. And before we go more into that, we want to bring in our past guests. I know they are more on their way who's going to be joining us later. So because of the time factor, so we're going to be bringing them in just to give us their perspective about our focus on Liberia. They were once on the show, maybe once or twice. So again, gentlemen, welcome to Focus on Liberia. And we are glad that you have come to celebrate our birthday with us.
Thank you for inviting me to join you in this celebration of the historic birthday. I'm honored to be here.
Thank you. And this is Mr. Asuni Sia. He was one of those who appeared during the June 27 Save the State, the days around the June 27 Save the State protest, when we had a discussion along those lines. In fact, he was a participant in the protest in DC. Mr. Sia, welcome and thank you for coming.
Thank you again. And actually that was June 7, not 27.
Yeah, June 7, sorry about that. Now, another of our former guests is Mr. Austin Fala. Mr. Fala, welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Thank you, Mr. Jha. Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you again that I'm back on the show. And let me first commend you and your staff for the good work you continue to do. Your show is one of the best, amongst the best, and very educative, very informative, and you wholeheartedly welcome views that differ from maybe yours or other people, but that cordiality and that respect for one another we must commend you. You are doing a very fantabulous job, and continue to do that, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Fala was here talking about Liberian economics. You know, the economy, Fala has a good grasp of the Liberian finance and the economics. So he was here educating our people. And few people call me Mr. Fala to say, oh, I like the show. People that are watching on YouTube, I mean, like months after you were here, they keep calling and kind of commenting and like the kind of information that you presented in that show. Thanks again.
Thank you, too. Thank you very much for giving me the platform to do that.
Next.
Liberia is our country.
Yeah.
Liberia is our nation. We have to help in whatever way possible in ensuring that we move Liberia forward. We may not be there physically, but we are with them in spirit and any other form that they feel that we can contribute. We are available to make ourselves known and share whatever we've learned with our people back home. Thank you for granting me that platform. And thanks to those who listened at the time when I was giving the platform. And I hope to share more in the future, not too long. Thank you very much.
Definitely. In fact, we have a forum now that has been established. It's gradually on focus on Liberia. That's the Liberian Economic Forum, and we'll be coming to you. The schedule is not fixed yet, but we were with you last Wednesday, and we're going to be coming to you this Wednesday again with another topic, which I'm going to discuss later. Next, let me go to our man right here from Atlanta, the Metro Atlanta area, Mr. Thomas Awaji. Mr. Awaji, welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Hey.
Mr. Awaji, you can hear me?
Dennis, I'm getting a really bad audio from you.
Oh, it's bad. Just give us your, Mr. Awaji lives here. He was a guest, one of our early guests, talked around the election time, election 2017. And Mr. Awaji also came back on some current issues. He's one of those that when we call upon, he's always ready to share his thoughts and his ideas on the ongoing issues in our country. Mr. Awaji, and Mr. Awaji is also.
Can you hear me, Dennis?
Yeah, I can hear you. Mr. Awaji also a member and official. In fact, he's on the board of directors of our community here, Liberian Association of Metro Atlanta. Mr. Awaji, your impression of Focus on Liberia. Give us some feedback.
Well, first of all, let me just say thank you for having me on, and I want to say congratulations on Focus on Liberia, your second anniversary. I want to say congratulations again. My position on your platform, to me, has been extremely helpful to our society as far as learning. My first time on your show was during the campaign in Liberia, and I was invited on as a guest, and I appeared on your show with several other people, not represented, but speaking for or presenting the points for the different political parties. And I came on to present my points for the Joseph Boyka campaign. Unfortunately, things did not work out the way we expected, but it was great being on the show. Your platform is very, very, I find it to be very positive, because during the campaign, you had a lot of people who were doing the regular Facebook thing, and it was just confusion. It was the fussing, the cussing, and discussion was really, fruitful. So when we put this platform together, it was very helpful to our community. I find it to be very educational. It's very informative. I like when you guys do the cultural aspect of Liberia. I always learn a lot from that. So I want to thank you for this platform, and I wish you more success. And I hope that this platform can grow in order to help educate our people. So I just want to say thank you so much for your time. And being on the show was a very positive experience for me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas Awaji. Next, our past guest is our man who is gradually becoming a political guru and master planner, Mr. Wasoni Sie.
Dennis, again, I want to say thank you. You know, knowing who I am, I'm always humble that you reach out to me to be on this very reputable platform, to be heard. I am always honored by your invitation. I listened to Danielle saying that there were 5 broadcasts last year that attracted a lot of people. And the one that I appear on as guest for the first time in my life to be a guest on any show became second. I'm not trying to blow my horn, but I'm trying to blow your horn, talking about You Focus on Africa, to have put this platform together for people like us from noble background who are not known in the political space, or even in the Liberian community, as opinion leaders to be called upon. I think it's something that I highly appreciate. My feedback on Focus on Liberia is that their platform is different from all other platforms that I have had the opportunity to listen to. What I see here is neutrality, to the point that anybody from any political side can come here and feel comfortable to discuss how they feel about the happenings in our country. Danielle said something that I agree with, that of all of the educational videos that have been done on this platform is not being followed by most Liberians. People pay more attention to the politics, the fighting, and the cussing, and that's why people are attracted to more other than a platform like yours that inspire, that teaches, and also promote all things Liberia. These things having to be your 3 key focus area. Anyone who think that this should be the platform for any Liberian who loves Liberia and want to see all things Liberia being promoted, and also given the fact that there is 100% neutrality here for anybody, from any political divide to come here and explain to all of us how they feel and stand on the issues that affect our country, and also how best we can govern ourselves, as a people and as a country. I would think that Focus on Africa will be number 1. In terms of audience now, when I say number 1, you are my number 1, but in terms of audience or viewership, I would think that Focus on Liberia should be number 1. And that is why I'm trying to make a commitment to help me Focus on Liberia the number 1 talk show or the number 1 platform in the Liberian community, because the name itself is distinct, Focus on Liberia. So this is where we should all come to talk about nothing else but Liberia and Liberians and how to make our country better. So I am making myself available as of today publicly that Focus on Liberia can reach out to me. I will be more than willing to contribute in any way I can to make the platform it is and needs to be to every Liberian, so that we can continue to not only teach, inspire, but also to promote all things Liberia. I think those 3 focus points are very important about the survivability of our country and the image of our country. One last point before I leave you quickly is that here I focus on Africa.
Liberia.
Focus on Liberia. Your guests, as always, they are giving respect and more time to discuss. You ask them questions. On other platforms, they don't invite certain people. If they know that you stand on the other side of the political divide or on any other issue, they don't invite you because they don't want to hear opposing view. This is different. Here on Focus on Liberia, wherever you stand, whatever your thoughts are, you are invited, you are given respect and the opportunity to discuss. And I think that is how a platform should be. This is the market ground for the exchange of ideas for all Liberians. I am so proud that Focus on Africa is standing in that gap and providing a neutral ground for every Liberian to come and discuss about their country, how they see it, and how they want the country to move forward. Thank you for the opportunity. I will quickly leave you if you don't have a question. Like Josh said, I'm somewhere trying to spend some money, so maybe I'll spend some money here.
Right. Before you go, I got a quick question. When you say what surprised you most about coming on the show, that's the question I got from the ground. You know.
What surprised me most about this show?
Yeah.
What surprised me most about the show is the fact that this show that should be number one in terms of audience viewership is not, because Focus on Liberia is what a show, is what a platform should be. It is everything that you need in a platform. And so one would think that this would be the place every Liberian will come, and, because here the issues are discussed responsibly and the issues are discussed with respect. And it is done, or the things are done here in a manner that people will learn and also be able to share their views in a very responsible way. On other shows, it's not like that. You think about CNN. CNN has that name recognition, so everybody turns to CNN, because it has the name recognition. Focus on Liberia has the name recognition, and it also has the quality of employees who are here doing the job. And so you would think that this is where Liberians, all of us, should be able to come and listen. But it's not, because it is not to the tune or the taste or the way Liberians want it. I mean, that is my greater disappointment. So I don't know how we can all collectively help to change that, to make everybody to come to a platform that is neutral and responsible and respectful of everybody.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sonny. Danielle, if you have something else, or we can let Sonny leave if you don't have a question.
Oh no, Mr. Sia can go and continue spending his money. It's okay.
So again, I want to leave by saying big congratulations to Focus on Liberia. 2 years in the business. We are proud of you. I'm proud of you. My family proud of you. Danielle, thank you so much for your excellent work you continue to do. Ja, thank you for your leadership. I am always willing. I'm just a text message away, and I will be here to make my contribution. Congratulations on 2 years of excellent service to the Liberian people. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Mr. Fala, and I was playing the other people, so maybe Mr. Fala, let me see.
Good evening, this is Focus on Liberia. And before we begin, let's play our...
Mr. Fala, let me see if I can get a clip of when you appear.
Okay.
Instance of the issue in Liberia.
Okay. Let me come to you, Mr. Fala, for your feedback.
If you do not have
But
balance in the
okay, I got you now. Let me play your voice.
You're not producing anything. You're not bringing in foreign exchange, so your local currency will depreciate. If you have foreign exchange coming in and you have a reserve, Once you have that, then your currency may appreciate. Sometimes individuals can devalue their own currency over the other. So Liberia has two banknotes. We have two banknotes. We don't have two currencies. We have only one currency, which is Liberian currency. We have two banknotes that we made legal, the US dollars and the Liberian dollar. But for us, for our money to appreciate, we must appreciate ourselves. Everything is about Liberia. If Liberians are willing to appreciate their money over the United States dollars, they'll work. Like you see what happened in Sierra Leone, see what happened in Ghana, see what happened in Nigeria.
Mr. Fala.
Yep.
That was you talking. Now give us your feedback and what you think. Then we can let you go.
Thank you very much. Let me join the last speaker, Mr. Sierra, what's his name, in congratulating you for being a very informative, educative, and inspiring station that we have. I must commend you and your staff, particularly Danielle, who is there and being very, very much calm. And you do not interrupt your guests. I have been invited to several talk shows, but I decided not to appear. I think I appeared twice on yours and one of the Fadigas long time ago when we're talking about press freedom, long time ago. So I've appeared twice, but I've been invited several times where I turned it down. Let's go back to the issue of our economy. I think I issued a press release some time ago on the labor pattern of economic growth as the means through which we can resuscitate our economy and empower our people. Without a labor pattern of economic growth, our economy will move nowhere because the people must be empowered economically. And how do we do that? Okay. There are three factors in Liberia that I think I have a 13-page paper on my own views on how to revive our economy. One, let me just give you an example. On page 3 of my paper, I said that government can put aside $100 million and put Austin Fala in charge. That $100 million and don't touch it. Government will not touch it. We will go into the people, let's say in Maryland County, where they got a sugarcane farm, and we try to resuscitate that. And how will we do that? We allow every district, every Liberian own organization to buy share. You know, if you have a sense of belonging, you cannot steal from that thing. If we resuscitate the economy, let's say Foya purchase a share, Kolaon purchase a share, Buto and Sino, those districts, everyone purchase a share into that farm. We'll start to produce sugar. Now, nobody will you won't sit there and say, but Mr. Fala, this is for you and I. Why are you stealing from this? You won't allow me to do that. You won't allow me to. So it will be a sense of belonging. We will use that as a means through which we can develop our country. After all of our expenditure, let's say we're left with $10 million. The $10 million is distributed evenly amongst the districts and that of organizations that purchase share. And whatever they receive will be used for development. Let's say in Tori, we decide to say, you know what, yeah, we'll build a clinic this year, we'll build a clinic down the hill or the southern part of Tori. Put a clinic there. Next year we share, say, you know what, we'll build an elementary school on the northern part of that. So every sector, north, south, west, east, will belong to one another. So you will go down the hill, south to a clinic, you go up the hill to high school, you go on the other side to junior high, you come on the other side to elementary school. Once people get to understand that they belong to them, this is theirs. This is not for Austin Fala, this is not for the president of the republic, but this belongs to all of us. Then they will try to understand that they have to put in all their all. We come right there, we're importing matches. We got matches factory right there in Stephen Turbo Estate. You can resuscitate that using the same method I just applied. That's why people ask me, if they call you today to do, I say, you know what, the first place I want to go is to resuscitate something. I want to tell the president, you set up this commission, you put me in charge, and I resuscitate what I just said, or you send me to agriculture bank, which is dormant. People think they can't wake up. I can resuscitate that bank. I can resuscitate housing bank, free zone authority. I say I can help those three things that people think they cannot resuscitate. They can't come back to life. I said that false. I have a blueprint for all three of them, how to resuscitate them. The only thing I want is that the president of Liberia, whomever that will be, must listen. Listen and listen carefully. And since we are public corporation, we have to ensure that the public is informed of every penny that is spent on behalf of those institutions. If we have that confidence from the president and that assurance, then we can come in to help in moving our economy forward. Back to that 25 million or whatever dollar we're talking about that got misused or they can't account for. All of us who did economics understand what monetary policy is, what it means to infuse money into the economy and when to take out money from the economy. They infuse money into the economy, they cannot account for how it got out. They cannot account for that. And this person blaming that person, this person blaming that person. People must be held accountable. Simple theory from the Keynesian economic theory that all of us learn in some of our economic classes, both in Liberia and here in the United States. As a student of Keynesian economic theory, there was missteps on the part of our Minister of Finance and the Central Bank of Liberia. Up to this point, they cannot even explain what happened to what was given them. That's very bad. That's sad. That's very sad. 25 million can be used to resuscitate free zone authority. 25 million can be used to help resuscitate housing bank. 25 million can be used to help resuscitate agriculture bank. All you need to do is to put the right people in place and don't listen to some of these gossipers, I call them, and people who don't even understand the ABC part of economics theory. Or rather, they say, oh, this can happen, that can happen. No. You tell them now, come and explain how it happens. They won't tell you because they are not schooled in that area. Thank you very much for the platform. Again, thank you. And I appreciate all that you continue to do for us and pray that you continue to do your best and move Liberia forward. I support you, focus on Liberia. You're doing a good job and continue to do that good job. Do not interrupt your guests and give them the opportunity to express themselves. And do not entertain individuals who will come just to talk and mean nothing. They cannot prove whatever they will say. And I just want to say thank you to you and your crew. Thank you, Mr. Jah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fala. And anytime we have our guests, we establish that relationship that anytime we can call on them. We also bounce ideas of our past guests, and that's something that we enjoy. What you see happening on Focus on Liberia is not just us, the staff, but we have people behind the scene who help us, who we bounce ideas off, who we talk to on a daily basis or weekly to say, hey, what do you think about this thing? We want to do a show. What are your ideas? And they are always willing to come back and share more thoughts on things that are going on. Again, thank you, Mr. Fala, for your knowledge. And we are always glad to have you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Take care. I would have stayed longer, but I've been called to a little get together. You know, once they say Fala, then they say Fala must say something. So
I know, that's Fala.
They want to hear something. So they want to hear something from you. So I'm going there to say something at this occasion too. So I always open to do that as long as it's in the interest of our people, the larger society, not just me, but the larger society. So I'm happy to always be available once you call on me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank you. Okay, God bless. Bye-bye.
And we have one more of our guests coming in. That's Mianta Dakina. As soon as we get her audio and video ready, she will be joining us to share her thoughts. Back to you, Danielle.
Yes. While we wait for that, Dennis, can you tell us about some of your most favorite interviews since you've started?
Normally, in Liberia, they say Fanti men would not say their bony is rotten.
He always say that.
So I would say all of them, but there are still some that that sticks to your mind. We started these things 2 years ago, and we have had guests from all walks of life. One thing that I like is our ability to be able to talk to people on different topics, from all different backgrounds. So, Bianca, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Okay. So some of my favorite shows and series, I would say, all of them, or things that are educational, where we have people from different backgrounds, because we ourselves, we have our own or comfort level. But sometimes when you are taken out of your comfort zone to act on something that you know little about, but it gives you the ability to go and read up on it, and talk to other people before the show, and just get to know about things a little more. Some of the series that still sticks in my mind, even when I'm trying to think of show, I would say our ethnic group series, because these are things that people normally don't talk about. People, we saw that during the war, there was a bloodbath in Liberia, tribe against tribe, ethnic group against ethnic group, because we didn't know much about one another. What we knew was mainly based on stereotypes. But as we went through the ethnic group series, and you could see the commonality, everybody came almost from the same place, migrated to Liberia at a certain point in time, settle, and the more you settle and interact with other people, your language get little diluted with their language, and that's how we have so many different forms, let's say, of the Pele-speaking people. Grebo have maybe over 20 different groups, and they go on and on and on. And that's very fascinating, because all the ethnic groups are that way. So it kind of share light on how we are more or less the same. Then you talk about things that always bring us together, being Liberian sports. So as you talk about sports, everybody, because we are in a time in our political history when we are so divided against on the lines of which side you support. Once upon a time, we all used to support, we all used to be for this football team or the other, but yet and still it was not as brutal as it is. So when you talk about sports and you see everybody coming together to comment about sports, it brings, it brings a good feeling. But before we delve more into that, let me go to Mianta, who was just joined us. Mianta was once on Focus on Liberia as part of talking about the Liberian entertainment industry, mainly the performing art. And Mianta, welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Oh, how you guys doing? How's Daniel? How's everybody doing?
We are excellent.
Thank you for having me. I just want to say thank you to you guys. The platform is very educational for a lot of things, whether politics, entertainment, in the world, happening in Liberia, everywhere. So I just want to thank God, thank you, and thank you for
Yeah, the reception is bad. Miata, it looked like you are using both your phone and you are calling from the phone and using the system. Maybe that's why we are not hearing you properly.
Oh, not hearing me?
Yeah, it's not proper. How did you call in? Because when you connect, we should be able to hear you from the system. Merely your audio. Maybe you can go out and come. You can go out and come back in.
Dennis, you were explaining how you love all of the shows, and I would say I appreciate our variety here on this platform. Just to review some of the shows that we've had in the past, we've talked about, or we had a series on big ideas, and we invited Liberians who had great plans for Liberia, and they shared that on this platform, and the audience also exchanged ideas with them. One of those that stands out was Agassi, who spoke on sanitation and how his project could possibly help clean up the city of Monrovia and even possibly generate funds from the garbage in Liberia. Miata, can you hear us? Are you back?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead.
You guys hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can hear you. Let me show Miata when she appear on Focus on Liberia. Let's see. So
Yeah.
okay, that was Miata and her mom appearing on the show.
Our area with the parliament, and my mom used to dance, and I started dancing. I love the culture, and it has been a part of my life. It's going to be forever.
Great, good to have you. Miata, you love to dance when you learn this from. Miata, you learned this from mommy.
Yeah, I learned it from my mom, my grandma.
All right. So back to you, Miata.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like I was saying, I thank God, thank you for this platform, and I tell you guys, thank you too for having us on the last time. So I really appreciate it. That's why the reason when I'm on there and when I see you guys on, I make sure I share the video, and you guys bring a lot of information to us. So, now don't have too much to say, but I really appreciate this platform.
And Miata, I want to appreciate you because you share our program a lot, and want to really, really appreciate that. And Daniel, I think that's where you were coming to. Go ahead.
Yes. Thank you so much for being so supportive, always with positive comments and sharing our videos. That is how we get viewers, from everyone sharing in their different groups and sharing on their personal pages. So just thank you. We really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Anything for Mama Liberia, because that's all we got. Mama Liberia is all what we have. We can talk all day long, from night to day or whatever it is, but we stand for Liberia. So anything for Mama Liberia, that's what, we stand for. Yes. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you. If we had like 5 Miatas, I know we things going to work out good for us. What really drives you? Because you share this a lot, and you are, anytime we come on, even when we kind of advertise, you try to carry forth. What's about Focus on Liberia that make you do that? And what do we need to do in order for you to keep doing what you're doing for us?
Dennis, I'm going to say, like I always say, like when I'm speaking my Pele, and when I'm, because I have, switched my focus somewhere else, speaking to my people in my dialect. I'm actually Pele Gula, but my grandmother taught me how to speak Pele at a young age. So I don't write it, but I speak it. In life, I be telling everybody, sometimes you don't have to be about yourself all the time, because my grandmother taught me that you don't have to be about yourself. With the negativities in the world, what I see is, with the negativity in the world, you just got to, switch your mind to something. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes we all want to be in a fight. But when you see somebody doing something and you have the need or sharing or supporting that person, for me, I'm big on that. I want to just support everybody. And like I said earlier, when it comes to Mama Liberia, I don't just dwell on the negativity anymore. You know, I never dwell on it before, but I'm just saying we share ideas and we share what's happening. We're not going to hide what happened in Liberia. But when I saw focus on, I think it was one show you had, and I think I was in one of those groups, and I seen focus Liberia, because as soon as I see Liberia, I get so hyped. I just be so happy, because that country, I don't care whatever we are. For me, I say my neighbor's train is there. So I love Liberia. So I was watching in one of those groups. I can't remember the group name because I'm in a lot of groups. People add me to the group. So when I seen focus on Liberia, so I click on it. I was like, oh Lord. I was like, focus on Liberia. Now we're gonna focus on Liberia. So I just, you know, then I sent you a friend request, you know, and then you accepted me. So, you know, I just started following, and I see you guys do a lot of positive things. You guys bring a lot of information to us and to the world, because Liberia needs to be seen. Now, we're not just for drama. We're not just for the negativity. We're doing something positive, and we got positive people. We got our mind strong. So, you know, I had no choice but to just follow you guys and share it, you know, and then tell other people and invite other people when you guys on, and just share it in a different group. So let the world see that we got something good going on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mia. Yes, for joining and sharing your thoughts.
Okay. Thank you, guys. God bless every one of us, and God bless Mama Liberia. Mama Liberia gonna, you know, rise again.
Amen.
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 And Danielle, we have some comments on Facebook, and Miada, thank you again for joining.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. We have comments on Facebook, but now let me get people on the phone.
Yes. You posted our phone number, which is 978-726-6965. You can call in and let us know what you appreciate about our platform and what you think we can do better. Dennis?
Now we have a caller on the line. Caller, your name and where you calling from? Now we have a caller on the line. Caller, your name and where you calling from?
This is Chuchu Alex Jones calling from Tampa, Florida.
Mr. Jones, welcome to Focus on Liberia. Your question or comment? We are celebrating our 2nd anniversary.
Well, this is just a congratulatory call on the show. I really like it, and glad to participate in the show as well. And my question is, for both of you, what drove you to do this show, and with all the challenges, what keep you going?
Right, and again, Alex, thank you. Alex was once on the platform he appeared with Dr. George Gompo discussing Liberian economics. Danielle, Alex has a question for us.
Well, initially I came on like to do 1 or 2 shows, and it really was, okay, well, I know Dennis and I know Cynthia, I like them. They asked me to do it, so fine, I'll do it. I'll just do it these 1 or 2 times. Dennis, we can hear you. I thought I'd do it 1 or 2 times, and that would be it. But after they asked me to join on permanently, I said, okay, I'll give it a try and see what happens. Even though we have some challenges, I continue to show up and be a part of, because as Miata was saying, I also love Liberia. Even though I may not be happy with the state of things right now or where we are today, I have to remain positive. I have to keep looking for the good. If our voice drowns out, then all that is left is the very polarized voices, the very negative voices. So in the sea of all those things, we hope to be something different. And so that's what pushes me to still show up and be a part of this program.
Yeah, thank you. And to add to that, it takes one, maybe wicked person to spoil stuff, and at the same time, even though as difficult as it may be, it takes one good intention to change history. People that have impacted the world, they did not start as a group or as an army. You start with one small idea, it generates, and the more you water that idea, the more it keeps growing, and eventually people it's going to attract people. It's like when you light a candle and put it up, people are going to see the light and become drawn to it. And what keeps us going to is the positive comments that we get from people. Someone call you and say, thank you so much, you are doing a great job. Even though sometimes we never see these people watching on a live show. You say, well, sometimes I don't come on live, but we are following what you guys are doing is extraordinary. Keep up the good work, we are watching you. And we also see that those, even though they tell us, politics, or political talk, or what we will say, the wahala, they attract people, but not everybody who goes through with that crowd is in favor of you. Let's say if I'm doing a political, or if I'm doing a show and I'm cursing, I'm doing all kinds of things, or I'm putting up a drama, drama in that sense, that people come, not everybody, some people are coming to criticize me, some people are coming to even curse at me. So they are, we continue to get those kind of positive feedback that the number of live viewers may be small, but we are watching. And there are people who call and say, I never watch you live, but I go on YouTube and I use this for my own education. So it's like almost everything I want to learn about Liberia, being it sports, being it art and culture, being it education, religion, whatever. If I can find a show on focus on Liberia that will tell me or teach me. So I'm really, really, drawn to what you are doing. So keep it up. As you get those positive comments, even if you are changing the life of one person a month, that's something that you should be proud of and that should drive you.
Yeah.
We have some comments on Facebook that I was about to read. Mary Flomo City say, congratulations, keep up the good work. And that's some of the things we're talking about. Jimmy Eastman said, this show is conducted with professional etiquette and cordiality while staying true journalistic objectivity. It holds its guests to defend their point of view and does not allow bias to interfere with the questioning. Moreover, it does not only pursue political discussion, but entertains various concerns of the Liberian community and culture. It seeks to bring on Liberian professionals to give their point of views on topics that range from history to education. It is an excellent intellectual cocktail. I love cocktail. Do you?
Oh, that's an awesome comment. Thank you so much. I'll say for me personally, I really seek to be neutral, and I try most times not to give my personal opinion about whatever is going on or whatever the topic is. Sometimes, we're criticized by the guests we have on. My goal is to push you to think about the other argument or the other side. Whether you're pro-government, when you come, I'm going to try to play devil's advocate and get you to see the opposition side. Or if you're the opposition, I want you to create strong arguments and tell me why you think the government is so bad. So whatever side you're on, when you come on the show, I want to challenge you, and I want to challenge your thought and your idea. And that's something I will not apologize for. I want us to be objective. I want us to think logically. So my background is not in journalism. Some of you may know my background is in engineering. And so the school of thought of engineering is to how to think critically when you're asking why, and you keep going back and asking the why to the previous question and then the question before that, to really get to a root cause and get good understanding. what you call a root cause analysis is also what I hope to do when I create questions for interviews or when I do research before a show. So we really, really like to try our best to be objective. And when you come on as a guest, I'm not going to side with you. More than likely, I'm going to be on the opposite end on any given day. So we really try to be objective.
Thank you, Daniel. It's good you said that because there was one person who did not understand that when we hosted one of our guests who was is in government, but he was very critical of government. So when I tried to push him and play the devil's advocate, one of my viewers understood it as, oh, even the guy on the government is talking bad about the government. You want to defend the government. I said, no, this is what we do. But we have a caller on the line. Call your name and where you calling from.
Hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi, this is Jimmy Eastman, Mr. Dennis. How are you? I'm
doing great, Jimmy. Welcome to FOL. Your question or comment?
Yes.
Oh, you were the one who gave us the beautiful comments.
I was the one.
Oh, okay.
And I felt I would be remiss if I hadn't called, because I honestly, your program is very refreshing. If you compare it to the other programs, you can, first of all, they're all political in nature. It surprises me why there's so much politics on the air, or it's about fries. What and what other word they got? Not fries, cheese. Drama, drama about other people's business. I understand the social media, but there is also out there things that we can learn, things that we can glean from. When we leave the program, we're better informed, and that is what your program does. It brings us a look into some profound discussion topics for us to learn from and glean from, and a host of professionals. And I really appreciate you bringing professionals, learned people, experts in their area to talk to us, because that gives us an opportunity to get exposed to certain things. Like I remember Dr. Brewer was on your show, and I remember the other doctor, he's gone now back to Liberia. He's the head of the Abel University.
Yeah, Dr. Soma.
Dr. Soma, that's right. I have made contact with him since then, and he's a very, very smart man. And these are the sort of thing you would think would be interested in. But when I see, the numbers that are attending the show, they're not as many as the ones that use curse languages and cuss other people. So what does that reflect about us? I can't help. What does that reflect about the Liberian people?
Yeah, but Jimmy, it's the case. Entertainment, people are drawn to entertainment more. You see people at the stadium more than you will see them in the church or the mosque. So I think that's reality.
That is true. And it also speaks to something else. People. Where you are in your exposure tells you a lot too. If we love entertainment, but some of us don't really like to discover things. You wonder why. I was on one program the other day. They said, why foreigners come here and do better? Why are they doing better than us? So you use a remark over the radio just now, say Fanti man never say fish rotting, right?
Yeah.
Why Fanti? Why not Liberian? Why not Fellowman? Why not Basil?
Exactly.
The reason is because we're not engaged in these things, Brother Ja. We are not. We engage in politics. We love politics and stuff like that, but we don't get engaged like your co-host. She is an engineer. But that's my background also. We don't get involved in how we can build things with our hands. I mean, we want to manage things, be on top of it, be the big shot, but to actually build, something up, It requires skills. It requires hard work, and that is something we have not learned to seek and go after.
Yeah.
We try to do the easy way out, and the only way, people talk about Liberia coming up, Liberia getting better, but it's gonna only work with our hard work. There is not gonna be another way to build that country besides hard work. As soon as you talk about hard work, somebody told me one time, if you talk about hard work, they will get you out of there. You will lose your seat in the Senate before you know it. But I really do. Don't stop. Still, one day the seed that you planted will grow. It will germinate somewhere, and you'll see the fruit of your labor. So I just want to commend you guys.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, we have more, and thank you. We have more comments on Facebook. Phil D. Vavi say, happy anniversary, FOL. Thank you so much for the hard work. It has been a real eye-opener to most of us. Prince Wallace say, thank you, brother, for your idea. Emmanuel K. Saki, all the way from Liberia, say, congratulations for making our motherland proud. Steve Wisdom Collins say, congratulations. We highly appreciate you. Keep your comments coming. And if you have questions for us, feel free to post your question also and your comments. Grace Jasso say, happy anniversary, FOL. Nessie Flomo City say, congratulations. Yes, I read that before. And the comments go on and on. We want to appreciate our audience and being in the middle, the way we have established ourselves, and we'll talk about our challenges too. It comes with a price. Okay, if you want to be neutral because of where we are now, it comes with a price. If we were at all pro-government, we'll have government people to support us. If we were pro-opposition, we'll have opposition people to use the platform, and so they will support us. So, but if you remain in the middle, I mean, so we don't get the kind of support that other platform will get, because we try to remain in the middle. We try to be neutral, and we don't generate that buzz because people, one of the challenges we face now is even getting some guests on our show. So if I'm not pro-opposition, if I'm not going to support or promote your platform, let's say you are running a campaign and you are coming here, I'm going to ask you the tough questions. So you don't come because you want to go somewhere where it will be like an echo chamber. And that's true about the government side too. We have invited some top government officials. We have invited some top government officials who did not want to attend. They gave one reason or the other. And I can call names. We were doing a show series called Government of Liberia, and all we wanted was come on the show and tell us about what you do. If you are from the Ministry of Defense, tell us about your activities, your function, your structure, and tell us what your plans are. If you are Minister of Information, the last person that we contacted was the Deputy Minister of Information, Mr. Honorable Eugene Fagon. Because most of the time we hear that the Ministry of Information is not needed, it's only for talking. But I believe it's more than that. So we wanted the minister to come on and tell us about the structure and the function of the Ministry of Information and some of the activities. What are you involved in? I understand they have like a 4 deputy ministers, 5 assistant ministers, and you want to know what else they do besides the talking, because it's Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs, and Tourism. On the opposition side, we have invited Mr. Ellis Cummings numerous times, and for some good reason, he has not been able to attend. Okay, but 3 or 4 times we have gone through every channel we think possible, but we have not still been able to get him. The last, we even announced Ms. Talia Ure accepted to appear, but 2 days prior, she said she was going to campaign. We thought that you could use that platform, answer our question, that would be a form of campaign. We are not complaining, but we're saying we want to give you more, but sometimes the people are not coming because we try to remain in the middle. So these are some of the challenges, and I know, Danielle, if you agree with me or not.
Yes, getting people from within the government to appear on the show has been a challenge. So much so to where we just stopped advertising those shows for our regular Sunday slot. Many of you know we try our best to adhere to our Sunday 6 p.m. Eastern schedule. And once or twice we invited people for that time slot and they disappointed us and we had to rush to come up with something else or just cancel the show, which we really don't like to do. So to go around that, we decided to do those shows in the middle of the week or another time. So that way, if they don't show up, it's not a big deal. And in talking about that, one of our goals is to be consistent and remain consistent, that we're on every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And I think that's something that all of us using this Facebook Live platform who have a show should be aiming for. You know, when we watch TV, we know what show comes on Monday at 8 or Monday at 9. It's consistent. And that's what, you know, I think would help us to become more credible platforms that we can go beyond Facebook Live and YouTube. Yeah, but getting any government officials to appear has definitely been a challenge. Outside of that, I know another challenge we have is financial challenges. Right now, it does cost for us to use the Zoom system that allows us to have many guests at once, unlike the normal Facebook Live platform. So we have to pay for that every month. And so that's an expense. So we're also just thinking about ways to generate income for this platform to just help keep it running. And something that you guys can help us do that will cost absolutely nothing to you is to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is named Focus on Liberia also. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. Right now, our goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers. We have about 600, a little over 600 subscribers right now, and we'd like to make it to the 1,000 subscriber point. And that would help us to potentially generate income from our shows in the future. So if you don't have any money to give us, that's fine. Something you can do that will cost you nothing is to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Dennis, do you have other means that people can help us as well?
Right. First of all, is you donate. We have a Cash App, we have Zelle, we have a phone number, and our Facebook Cash App. You can give us some money. When I saw there's a comment from Henry Slebo, when I saw the amount and I saw the dollar sign, I started jumping. I thought he was giving us something for our birthday, but he was talking about the amount was not 25 million. I thought he was giving us some money so that we can continue to carry out this broadcast. So you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, as Danielle said. You can donate to us through our bank account, that's Wachovia. If you're interested, we can, Wells Fargo, they changed names so much. Wells Fargo, our bank account, and you can do that through Zelle or Cash App, or the old-fashioned Western Union. That can help us. And you can also, you know, some of the support we're looking for is you can also link up with people that can appear on the show. Sometimes the person who appears brings the crowd, and after people see us, we most of the time want to talk to people in power so as to educate people. It's not so much about asking political questions. You see, whenever or there is no information, rumors take over, or in Liberia we say ELDC. So if you are a minister of finance, for instance, if you don't come and share with us, you know, what you do, people will take things the other way. I see that the president of Liberia had conducted 2 major interviews that I've seen, and all those 2 major interviews were conducted by foreign journalists. Why not come on Focus on Liberia? Okay, so if your house does not sell you, we say the street is not going to buy you. So we want to host the president of Liberia. We want to host the finance minister. the justice minister, we want to host the Supreme Court judge, and all the people with power in Liberia to really explain to the Liberian people what they do. That's basically the kind of education we want to provide. So if you are able to link us with these people, we'll be glad. Or even in the United States, if you can still link us up, this is from our own pockets. If you can link up with people, grant writing and all that good stuff, or give us some old equipments. We use cameras, we use computers, we use phones, we use internet and all that good stuff. If any way you can help, we'll surely appreciate that. Let me read one more comment. This one is from my brother Dave Jai, and Dave Jai and I work together so closely. He's my brother. We have written books together. We did a lot of things together. Most of the time, whatever idea I have, I bounce it off him first. So I value his opinion on issues. He said, very proud of you. When your big brother is proud of you, that's something to be happy about. He said, congratulations on your anniversary. When you embrace others and make them part of the governing process, that is leadership. That is the virtue we must continue to espouse to. Do not linger in maintaining integrity and honesty. So thank you, Dave, for those beautiful comments. Sekou Asumana say, how can one be guest on your platform? Sekou, you can go on our Facebook or inbox us or send us an email, focusonliberiamarketing@gmail.com or focusonliberia@gmail.com. And let's talk and see what we can do.
And I mean, as we talk about just what we like to do and how the viewers can help us, we'd also just like to share with you our visions for the future, because while we appreciate what we have now, we have bigger goals. And one of, I guess, our very lofty goals is to air in Liberia. I think this would be a great show for Liberians, especially when we have shows on history and culture, because even though, some of us were born there, some of us live there, we don't know about the different ethnic groups and their traditions and their way of life or their history. They say, if you don't know who you are or where you're coming from, then you're headed nowhere. So that is one of our goals. We've talked to some people about that. And, the way it works in Liberia is it would come at a cost, whether it's to air this show on the radio or on TV. We would have to pay a fee every month. So that's, some of the reasons why we would like to start to generate income so we can fund those types of initiatives. Outside of that, we'd also like to expand the platform beyond talking just about history and culture or politics. We'd also like to have someone talk about sports, or for us to have a show dedicated to Liberian writers and the books that they're producing. So just, as Dennis said, different ways for us to educate and elevate. So these are just some of our dreams and some of the things that we're working toward. Dennis, you have anything to add to that?
Right now, we are working on our Focus on Liberia website, and this costs money. And on top of just streaming our live video, as Danielle said, we want to have a place for authors. If you go there, and we will have a place for you to input your information as a Liberian author, the book you wrote, and your name, and how people can reach you, so that anyone from any part of the world will go there, click on your name, and have your books, and this will come with a small subscription fee just so that we can keep it going. Also on that website, we're going to have a place where you import your information as a Liberian professional, something that is similar to LinkedIn, where you have your professional profile. So if you go there on our website, soon to be finished, we are still working on it. We can have all the information there. You put your information. Somebody who is looking for a plumber or who is looking for an engineer can go on Focus on Liberia website and find you there and be able to contact you. Then on the other side, one of our goal here is to create a network we have this platform. We make it bigger, but we can. There are 24 hours in a day. So we hope to work with other Liberians that are doing similar work. Instead of having these little silos, you can come and broadcast your program on Focus on Liberia, so that we can create a big network of Liberian internet TV station. They all broadcast on one platform. You don't have to everybody having their own equipment and doing everything. So we create a big platform that you can come and air your show. Right now, we are test driving with one of that called the Liberian Economic Forum. So every Wednesday, we give you that slot to air what you have to produce. So you produce as long as it is in conformity with what we stand for, our mission, our vision, and how we intend to carry this. And we find that working relationship, we can have you use our platform and broadcast. So at the end of the day, we have like 2,000 stations all broadcasting on Focus on Liberia. If Comcast can do it, why can't we do it?
Right.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining us, this is Focus on Liberia. We are broadcasting from Atlanta, Georgia. This is our 2nd anniversary, and we are using this time to tell you more about what we do. If you have questions, we'll be ending the broadcast in 15 minutes. So if you have any question for us or ways that you can help, we need volunteers. We need people to join us to carry out this vision. So when you come, you don't have to have a journalism background. I don't have, Danielle doesn't have, neither is Stephanie, who's working with us in the background, okay? My first degree is in computer networking, if you don't know, and my graduate degree is in health informatics, so it's health IT. I've been working as an integration project manager for some time now. Also on the side, I'm the author of books. Also, I blog and do some quite interesting things. But journalism is not even one of them. It's just the passion, because growing up in Liberia, 2 things. If you were growing up in Liberia and you were born somewhere in the southeast of the country where everything is big terminology, so we are exposed to journalism. You take the newspaper, you read it as if you are reporting news, because you heard people like Charles Bayon, Aaron Colley, Kwame Clement on TV, and that's what we all try to mimic. And so it's been a kind of ride. So if you don't have to have that background, as long as you have the passion and you kind of grasp onto the vision that we are trying, the work we are trying to do, you come, we have people, you can be trained, and in no time you see yourself contributing. So we are open to ideas. We want to be that place that incorporate everybody, that we are neutral, that we continue to present a balanced view as we educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. So come on board.
Yes, and I saw someone ask about how do you subscribe to our YouTube channel? And Dennis, I don't know if you can just go to YouTube. I think sometimes people miss the button. If you go to youtube.com/focus on Liberia, you'll find a red button that says subscribe. And if you click that subscribe button, you become a subscriber to our channel. You'll get notifications whenever we load videos on YouTube. And if you have a link for any video that we've uploaded on YouTube, if you click on that video, the red subscribe button will be there also, and you just have to click on the subscribe button, and you'll get notifications and be added to our subscriber list. So I guess Dennis is working to pull that up so you guys can see it. We also have a comment from Zena Doa, who says, I want to be a part of the self-broadcast, and I will send you guys an inbox while I look forward to working with you. And so we welcome that. Please send us an email or inbox us on Facebook, and we'll be happy to work with you.
That is right, Danielle. And if you went on our channel, let me see if I can show you that Focus on Liberia channel. So this is you may not have the same. So all our videos are here. If you go to our about, you see all that we about. You click on videos, you see all our videos. Any one of these videos that you click on, you always see a place there to subscribe. And you see that.
I think because you've already subscribed, the subscribe button isn't there.
Exactly. And but any video that you click on, you will see the subscribe button right here. This is and then there's a bell that you will see. You click that on, and then you have our notification. But just go on YouTube. Just sometimes you only search Focus on Liberia, because I searched it before, so it just come on. If you search Focus on Liberia, our show is going to come on. You will see that, and right now it says we have 675 subscribers. We need a few more to reach 1,000. When we reach 1,000, then we start to look at how many people view it or show. That way, Google will try to give us a little change, and that can help us to pay our bill.
So we just need about 325 more people to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can have friends and family just hit the subscribe button, and that'll help us to get our goal. If you really love us and believe in our mission and what we do, we really appreciate that. That's just another way to help without having to actually spend money.
And we are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, we are on YouTube, we also on LinkedIn, Tumblr, Reddit, and all the different social media platforms you can think of. We also have our own Focus on Liberia blog that you can go there and you'll see. Just even if you go online, Google, and just Google Focus on Liberia, you see our videos, share them with somebody. We have over 100 videos, and we have covered a variety of topics. So most of the things that you want to talk about, we covered them already. And talking about former guests, we have a lot of people that were here before, and I see some of them logged on. I see the man who made win, D12. He was one time our guest, and want to say that shout out to him as he joined the broadcast. We also want to remember one of our former guests who passed away, I think it was this year, Dr. Emmanuel Dolo. He was more than former guests, just as we do with our former guests. We talked to them. Dr. Dolo was one of those who we bounce ideas off him too in the background. We want to say, rest in peace, Dr. Dolo. And some of the things that you advise us on, we are doing them, and we want to remember you and your contribution. Also, there are people that we talk to behind the scene. I started with my own brother, Dave, and all of us here, you see Stephanie, we all have spouses. We kind of talk to them, and they support us doing this. Danielle, and all our spouses are our first supporters. We want to say thank you so much. Dr. Herbert Brewer, most of people call us and they make reference to his video on the history. He's one of those who we talked to for some ideas, and he not only appearing on the show to present, he also will advise us and give us some ideas. Mr. Kwanendo, from all the way, he was one of our guests. He was going to be here tonight, but has some other engagement. He couldn't be here. But he's one of those we talk to who give us ideas in the background. Sometimes we are stuck and we need some guests and say, oh, Kwanendo, what do you think? And we have a lot of people like that, Dr. Tiro Songbe, sometimes we talk to him. And all of our guests, like Dr. Gompu, we started with Mr. Sekbeye. He was, in fact, one time my guest co-host, who was one of those, spouse of our former partner, Mrs. Yasendi Beye. So the spouse say, he also contributed ideas or expertise. We want to say thank you all for doing this. We contact our former guests all the time. And anytime we need more guests, when we say that, okay, what do we do next? What series we do? We try to get in touch with them. And what we do here is we operate as partners. We have, I am the co-host, And Danielle, I'm the host. Danielle is the co-host, and Stephanie Cetro is our guest relations manager. She in the background contacting our guests, and because of her legal background, she helped with all the paperwork. And also, she's well-rounded. She also do the technical part. So she's our product engineer. She does so well in the background. And since we parted ways with our producer, now we have the production work share among all three of us. If you think how we come off, most of the time we like to present our show in the form of series because we want to kind of exhaust one idea before we move to the other. So we meet at the beginning of the year or, intermittently to kind of draw out our curriculum or our schedule for the entire year or sometimes for a couple of months. Things don't always go the way you plan. So we try to make changes as we go. And sometimes guests call out, and say, well, or sometimes we have no call, no show. In that case, we try to do something quickly. Sometimes we go back to our old guests and say, hey, can you come on? Can you do this for us? And they are always willing to come on. And you continue to support us. We say, thank you so much. We have a former guest, Mr. Alex Jones. He came in and in fact, very soon, Alex is going to be hosting his own show on Focus on Liberia, on the Liberian economy. But so far, he's been of help to try to talk to him on his ideas of how we can move things forward. The young people, you saw some young people, the millennials, they're just incredible group of people. We continue to talk to people like that and continue to encourage everyone everywhere to see how best they can be part of this exercise and help us educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. So if you're somewhere thinking of how you can be a part, you can contact focusonliberia@gmail.com, focusonliberiamarketing@gmail.com. Marketing, sometimes I use double T, that's wrong, should be one T in case you're spelling that. And our Facebook page, our Facebook person page, you can use that to inbox or also send us a message. We'll be glad to get back to you and see what we can do together. Danielle?
I really want to say thank you to all of our viewers. There wouldn't be a show without you guys. Whether you watch live or you go back later in the week to watch it afterward, thank you. Thank you for tuning in, and by tuning in, saying that we are credible people to listen to, and that we're worth listening to. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And as Dennis said, I also would again like to thank all of the spouses in the background. I know Mrs. Ja has to deal a lot with you on the phone, whether it be with the guests or taking time to test with the guests or talk to me on the phone for us to discuss upcoming shows. I appreciate her. And I also appreciate my husband for being patient with me when I take time to work on Focus on Liberia. Yeah, so thank you.
Thank you. And on behalf of all of us here, I'm looking at our people on Facebook. If you have any question or comment, or if you can call in, and we want to appreciate those who have donated over the years to us. People have given us some money. The list is long. I don't want to leave out anybody, but there have been people that have donated to us to be $25, $100, $50 here and there, so that we can pay our monthly bill and also do the things that we, doing anything outside your normal 9-to-5 job is a challenge. But some of you continue to encourage us, and you continue to even make some donation. We want to really, really appreciate that. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep supporting us. We like what you do, and we are doing this because of you. We want to grow this platform. We want to grow what we do. We have other bigger plans that we will talk to you more about as time goes by. We want to have other things that we want to do in this drive to educate, to promote, and to elevate Liberia. So continue to support us, continue to help us, and continue to pray for us, and continue to be our friend. Continue to share our video, invite others, talk to people about Focus on Liberia, and Your suggestions, your criticism, your ideas are always, always welcome. Let me go back to Danielle as we close.
Yes. Before we go, just once again, thank you. We're here every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. We try our best to be on time and stick to that schedule. We look forward to the year ahead and what's coming, the shows we're working on, and ways we're looking to improve and look more professional. Our goal is to always be better than we were yesterday. So I'm looking forward to us just getting better and being better and growing our audience. I don't, however, want to grow our audience at the expense of becoming polarized or being rude. I don't want to take that route. So I look forward to us holding on to our integrity as we grow and move forward. I believe we have a special show tomorrow. Do we still have a special show tomorrow, Dennis?
Yeah, we're working on that, but this week is going to be so exciting and I'm looking forward to it. On Wednesday, we'll have the Liberian Economic Forum, and we're going to be focusing specifically on the Central Bank of Liberia. The Central Bank, the role it plays in our growth and development, what the challenges are, what are the prospects, and we're going to be talking about that. Later in the week, you have asked for it, and we're going to give it to you. People have been asking for a debate because they have seen they have seen Mr. George Lobo of the Drive come, and he's full of fire. Yeah, and he appeared on a Focus on Liberia twice now, and he is someone who is, he takes no prisoner. I mean, he gave it to you as it is. And then we have Mr. Michael Gilman of Jide Hard Talk. So he too is very knowledgeable of what goes on in Liberia. Don't take him for granted because he has this background of investigating everything. You can tell him, my name is Dennis Jar. He looks beyond that to see what it is. So we want to have, people have been calling, since they saw the two of them at different point in time appear on the show, and they hold different views concerning the politics in Liberia. One is more of a, so we want to have two of them to debate. So our audience asks for it, and who are we but to give it to them? So next week, or this week, the week started today, we're going to have something that looks like a debate. We call it a live discussion on current issue, but actually debate, because the two cannot see eye to eye on those issues. Their views on those issues are far apart, and there will be the clash of the titans coming to you. Then on Sunday, we're going to have your favorite, most of you always talk about Dr. Brewer. He's going to come back with the class structure in Liberia. Dr. Brewer and Cotto Reeves Williams, they will be here to discuss class structure in Liberia. I talked to Dr. Brewer, I said, why this class structure? He said, why do you think people like Emmanuel Shaw, Bright, what's the other, Archie Banan, they are around George Weah. Do you think they are part of his ethnic group? Of course not. So there's something about class structure in Liberia that we want to really take a deep dive into. Is it about ethnicity? People tell me, say, oh, George Weah is tribalistic. But sometimes you look around him, some of the people closer to him, like his city mayor, his finance minister, his presidential affairs minister, they are of different ethnic groups. So what really is going on in the Liberian political stratosphere? Is it class or is it ethnic group? I can't wait. And one thing I want to stress here before we close the broadcast is we know that when you do some of the Wahala shows, you have views. When you go all political for now, because right now the people are very much in tune to the politics of the day, so you have views. But we will not, cannot sacrifice our integrity to draw the crowd. We are focused on our mission, our vision to educate, to elevate, and to promote all things Liberia. We're going to do politics. we're going to do everything you think of, but we're going to maintain that balance of neutrality, of fairness, of integrity, of honesty, so that even if nobody watches, we are keeping the videos on YouTube so that you watch them later. And that's one thing we want to hold true. And it's hard to do the right thing. Someone said it's very difficult to walk straight in a moving train. So to keep that balance, we need your support, we need your prayers, and we need your constant support, and morally, spiritually, financially, and otherwise. Until then, thank you so much again for watching. This is our second anniversary. We're going to keep going based on how, what you tell us to do. We're going to listen to you, give us your suggestions. We're going to do our best to stay focused. Once again, thank you so much. We started with this and we're going to end with it. Danielle, conclude for us.
Yes, thank you. We look forward to the future, and we look forward to you joining us on this journey to being better and more objective. Okay, so thank you, and we look forward to seeing you the rest of the week. As Zena said, we have an exciting week ahead of us. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can reach out to us if you'd like to work with us, or if you feel there's a guest who you could link us with and you'd like to see on the show, please inbox us on Focus on Liberia on Facebook, or you can email us at focusonliberia@gmail.com. So thank you, and we look forward to working with you all and to continue to elevate, educate, and promote our One Liberia. Thank you, and we'll see you next